Thank you for Patreon now for donating to the Patreon.
Hey guys, Vanity Ezel back with Card Fight Vanguard as in the Vanity Weekly videos. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe. This time we're covering some more reviews from set 13. Sadly, we don't have anything big like New Youthberg, Leonor, or Virena, because sadly, Bushy skipped an episode for some, or not skipped an episode, but didn't upload an episode last week for some reason. I'm assuming it was a holiday. I can't really give a reason why, but I mean, hey, let's go ahead and get over the reels that we do have, along with an interesting set of promos. First up today, we have Mining Deep Elf, Great Genesis 5k Shield, 10k Base, Auto Rearguard, when this unit attacks a Vanguard. By counter boss 2, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, and for every 2 of its grades, choose 2 of your Rearguards. All the chosen Rearguards get plus 5k power for the turn. Cool, so we went from having no cost and giving one unit 5k to, granted, we can give a whole board 5k, but we gotta cut our CB in half pretty much. Cool, not a bad grade 2, it's okay, but at the same time, it's like, it only picks two rear guards. Even if your opponent's at like grade 10, you can't give the Vanguard 5k, and you can't pick the same units multiple times. So, I don't know, 2 of, 3 of, I guess? It's not a bad grade 2, but it's not amazing either. 3 of is like highballing it if you have the extra CB. 2 of is probably the more natural, if not a 1 of tech. Then we have Mighty Fist Dragon, Emerius Dragon, Great Genesis 5k Shield, 10k Base, Auto Rearguard, unless you attacks into anything by Soul Blasting 2, choose an opponent's Vanguard, and for each grade of that unit gets plus 2k power front of. But okay, I swear, they 100% expected Griffogila to be meta. There's no way they have this many cards coming out this set that all happen to deal with the opponent's Vanguards. I refuse to believe for a second that Bushy did not at least anticipate that Griffogila would be a little bit broken, so they made a bunch of hate cards against it, and then Griffogila didn't turn out super broken, or at least to my knowledge it didn't turn out super broken, and then therefore all these cards just seem really out of water, unless, God forbid, they give us another big thing that's on the equivalent to Griffogila skills, and in that case then, I'm glad to see where this one goes. But until then, right now all I can base this off of is Griffogila, and my only assumption is that they assumed it would break the game, which again it hasn't. So I mean, the 2 of them I'm really like banking it now on like the theory that this set has 1 extra card, like how Vanity Husk Destroyer was technically in the first set of like Future Card Buddy Fight Ace. So now I am just assuming that there's going to be like a secret card that is the equivalent to Griffogila that will break this game, that will warrant all these hate cards. But whatever. Then we have our list of promos. First up, the really good Superior Ride for Kari, Gazing Off as the Stars Rising in the Night Sky Jasmine. Great God, I normally hate the long names, but that one's just cool. Grade 1 Boost 5k Shield, AK Base, Act Rearguard. If you have a Vanguard with Kyrie in its card name, it doesn't matter if it's grade 4 or grade 3, and your opponent's Vanguards are grade 3 or greater. By card bossing 1, you get to search your deck, Solar Drop Zone for up to 1 grade 4 unit with Kyrie in its card name, ride it as stand, return this unit to the deck, and shuffle it. So, replace this unit with the grade 4, and then make another grade 4 Kyrie, doesn't matter, because that's free search regardless, and then continues Guard Circle. If you have a grade 4 Vanguard Kyrie in its card name, she gets plus 10k shield. Cool. 15k shield, deck thins, gets a grade 4 Persona Ride, not Persona Ride, normal Superior Ride, with just the simple cost of a CB, and prevents deck out because she just sends herself back in. 4 of. It's a 15k guard, that's Superior Ride. There's no reason not to run that as a 4 of. Then we have Hawkeye Knight Aztarus, Great Genesis 5k Shield, 10k Base, Auto Rearguard when it attacks. If you have Ezel Vanguard, perform one of the following. Choose one of your Vanguards, and until end of turn, it gets continuous Vanguard. All your front row Rearguards get plus 5. If you chose at the end of the battle, put this unit to bottom. So cool, it's at least a 15k swing if you have an Ezel Vanguard for free. And then the other ability, choose a back row Rearguard, go Paladin's Clan. At the end of your battle, return that to hand. So either bounce a possible PG back, but that's only going to be useful in Premium, because to my knowledge, there's no Gold Paladin PGs in D yet. So in Premium, cool, free PG back. And in this day and age in D, you're just going to spam this skill 24/7 to get free 5Ks, because that ability can stack and for some reason is free. So this card's going to be broken, and again, we give promos broken abilities. So this time, Bushy just didn't bother holding back. So again, in Premium, bounce PGs, and in D, spam this. Then we have Rough Cull Hammer Dragon, grade 3 200 Persona 13k base. Am I the only one that first thought this was like the dragon version of the new Gandiva grade 3? Anyways, grade 3 200 Persona 13k base, Auto Rearguard when it attacks. If you have played a normal order during this turn, it gets plus 5k power for the battle. At the end of that battle, current boss want to draw a card and bind this unit. Cool. It is a draw and bind, all for playing in order, and it's at least an 18k swing. There's not much more I can say about it outside of that. And then Auto Bind Zone, when you would play a normal order, if you have Vanguard Narukami as its only clan, and Vermilion and its card name on top of that, and you do not have a rearguard with the same card name as this card, you may call this card to rearguard. So you have to get this into the bind zone, which isn't hard. But you have to use a CB to get it into the bind zone, and then you only get to call it if you don't have something else on your board. So granted, this can cause multi-attack, because I think Rising Phoenix still works during the battle phase in D, but I don't know. I feel like out of the two promos, let's just go over the ideas here real quickly. 18k swing and cost a CB1 to draw a card and then use its other half the skill. And this one is free, non-once per turn for some arbitrary reason, can stack, and then finally it can bounce PGs. So again, this thing has use in D and then premium, and granted this one has use too, but probably less. Who got the better promo? In my opinion, this one, but I mean, both of them are okay and they're alright, but this is definitely a 4 of. And then we have our new promo grade 3 timestamp dragon, grade 3 200 persona ride, 13k base, auto vanguard, when it attacks into a vanguard by counterblasting 1, choose one of your rear guards does not have the same name as the card in your bind zone and bind it. And your opponent has a grade 3 vanguard or greater, you may chase 2 cards instead of 1. So cool, not a mandatory choose 2, but you can choose at least 1 and, you know, basically bind them, which is great. The only downside is they have to have a different name, which has sometimes caused me problems. And by sometimes, I mean just made me play a little bit smarter, but hey, it was fun. And then other skills, auto vanguard, when your rear guard is bound by this unit's effect specifically, so don't go playing a bunch of bind cards like I tried to do, then realize that's not how this skill works. If the card's original grade was a grade 3 or greater, until end of turn, this unit gets triple drive and 10k. And if it wasn't, search your deck for a card that's grade +1 from the card bound, call it to rear guard until end of turn, it gets plus 10k, shuffle your deck. So something you can do is you can swing with this, counterblast 1, or swing with your front row, one's a grade 3, let's just say the other's a grade 2, swing with this thing, counterblast 1, bind the grade 3, bind the grade 2. With the skill of the first part, you activate the grade 3 one first, get the 10k and triple drive, and then you use the other one's skill to call the other one, give it plus 10k. All around, pretty nice. I can give yourself both, or you know you can just go for 5 attacks, or you can just go for 4 attacks. Because it gets triple drive and not drive +1, don't think binding 2 grade 3s is going to work. It's not going to. The most it would do is get you a total of plus 20, not plus 20 in quad drive, but I mean, hey, all around, pretty nice. A simple CB1 and you get possible multi-attack and or triple drive while the opponent's at grade 3. And when you get to or grade 2, and then when the opponent gets to grade 3, either you get 5 attacks, triple drive with 1 extra attack, or some combination of the 2. Either way, Timestamp Dragon, very solid grade 3. I like the skill a lot. He's a very interesting promo. I wish we had a little bit more gear-based cards that worked consistently without relying on the G zone or soul as a resource, and worked better with Timestamp. But hey, he is a solid grade 3, and when we actually get support for him, as Bushy has proven with Barthelmetus that is physically possible, he will probably be really good. So 4 of Timestamp. Then we have Sword Light Dragon Skyrisen, aka the card I checked 5 times just to make sure it wasn't a promo, because we got this, which I thought wasn't a promo. Then we got this, which I immediately assumed was a promo right after. I knew this thing was a promo the second I read the Kyrie part, and then this thing I figured out was a promo. This thing I literally checked 5 times to make sure, also because I saw this, which is what made me think it was a promo. Grade 3 turn percent 13k base. For some reason this is in set 13 and not the Luar Chow deck, which is the other assumption I had. Auto is placed on rear guard or guard circle. Choose up to 1 grade 4 card from your hand, reveal it, and if you revealed a card, or your vanguard is a grade 4, perform one of the following based on where it was placed. Either rear guard, choose 2 of your rear guards to end of turn, they get boost. Cool. And continuous guard circle, or not continuous guard circle, it gets plus 15k shield to end of battle. And then it has another skill, which is auto, when it's discarded from your hand to ride a grade 3 from the ride deck, or for the cost of stride, draw a card. So either you get to grade 3, and this is just a free draw, or you stride and you just replace it, and it's a 15k shield, so we can pretty much start running this in Bastion Prime now, and it can give things boost, so it's basically a cheaper Rondal. Okay, it's better than Darkstrain. At this point, there's no reason to run Darkstrain, because we have Rodalia, we have this thing there, and we have Onotaria. Like, there's no real reason to run Darkstrain, because it costs too much soul. So, I mean, Skyrisen is, it's not as broken as I thought it first was, because I didn't realize that it had to be specifically a grade 3, and I didn't realize it had to ditch specifically a grade 4. But, I mean, even then, it's still, you know, 2 cards boost, 15k shield, and it's literally free ride deck. So, 3 of Skyrisen. You don't want to see too many of them, because if you don't have a grade 4, he's kind of iffy. But, I mean, hey, rear guards with boost and extra shield, what's not to like about him? At least a 3 of. And then we have Great Hawk Harvik, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto when it's discarded from your hand during your turn by a card's ability, not by ride deck sadly. Soul Boss 1 to draw a card. So it just replaces itself very much. It's just a Soul Boss 1 to replace itself. The only deck I could immediately think of that this would go into, and it's mostly because of the scarf and nothing else, is Youthberg. And then my thought process was, I feel like you would just run Wayward over this because, like, if they both Soul Blast one, wouldn't it be better to call down Wayward because Wayward would be a 10k booster and or swinger, while this thing would just, you'd have to pray that the top card would replace it and it would be better. So I don't know, if you are going to run this, consider the fact of Wayward is probably a better option unless you have hand problems. You can get Rearguards consistently. Then in that case, cool, go for this one. But otherwise, Wayward is probably the way to go. Either way, it's an okayish grade 1 to 2 of. Then we have Synchronized Signal Gear Line, the thing I sat here for 5 minutes for, trying to figure out a reason to run this in any deck. Grade 275k shield, 10k base, auto rear guard when this unit attacks. If your ride deck has a face-up card with the same card name as your Vanguard, Soul Charge 1, and this unit gets plus 5k power to battle. I literally sat here for so long trying to think on what logical grounds can Gear Line, like, proc off, and I thought about it long and hard, and the only thought that came to mind until like right before I started this segment of the video, so basically 15 seconds ago, was Greedon. That was the only thought that came to mind, and that was because of the bird that can recycle ride deck. But then I remembered Greedon doesn't have Desire Devil in the name, and I think the bird specifically requires Desire Devil, so you can't use that. And then the other one came to mind the 15 seconds after I started this part of the video, which is what was it called, Barrow Magnus, because I remember Keen Rurbly can yeet back all normal units. I don't remember if it yeets back grade 3s or graders, but if it's possible, free Soul Charge. Is that warrant this thing being good? No, but I mean, cool. Possible free Soul Charge if you find a way to get the grade 3 back in the ride deck, assuming you're specifically targeting the grade 3, and it's a 15k. So, I mean, take that as you will. There's not much more I can say about it. Because remember, you not only have to be able to get it out of Soul, you have to find a way to get it back into the ride deck. You can't just have it in the drop zone, or like a side of the drop zone just to keep track of it. You have to get it back in the ride deck. And then we have Tulas Varkham. Of course, after I mod my Brantgate Griffle deck to not have a grade 3, and this thing shows up, so now I have to remod it to have a grade 3. Grade 3 turn 13k base. I swear this thing just looks like something from the manga. And yeah, it's literally not a manga card. Anyways, continues, you cannot ride this card nor call it to a normal rearguard, or normal call it to a rearguard without a Juxu marker on it, but you can superior call it to a normal rearguard circle without a Juxu marker on it. Continues rearguard during your turn for each of your rearguards with Juxu marker on them. This unit gets 2k. Cool, so with Griffle alone, this thing is a 17k from its move, 19k from the other one, plus the 5k. It's a 24k base just by riding to Griffle. And then continues rearguard during your turn for each set order you have in the order zone, it gets plus 2k. Cool, so on top of that, any set orders you spam in there, he's an immediate 31. Or not 31, 26. Tulas is an interesting grade 3. The longer the game goes, the stronger he gets, and he straight up is quite literally a 24k beat stick just by getting to Griffle. That's all you have to do. Get to Griffle, he's an immediate 24k beat stick. He's a 15k guard at the very least. For a Varkham, it's literally a forced 15k guard by just simply doing what the deck is supposed to do before you like do any of the convoluted bullshit of staying alive. Take that as you will.